So today I'm going to show you how you can level up your mix with sidechain compression. I don't necessarily mix in FL Studio, but I'm going to show you how to do it in FL. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to set it up in Logic, and the next one I'm going to show you how to set it up in Pro Tools. First of all, the main reason you might want to do sidechain compression in your mix is to control the level of one signal with another signal. For example, kick and bass. It's very important to make sure that your kick and your bass don't clash in your mix. And one easy way to create space for your kick and bass to exist harmoniously is by using sidechain compression. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. You can also use sidechain compression to control something like your reverb or your delay. So let's look at how you can sidechain your kick to your bass. It's probably the most common use for sidechain compression ever. To set this up in FL Studio is actually very simple, but there's just one extra step if you're using external plugins. For this example, I'm going to use the FabFilter Pro C2 compressor as well as the FabFilter Pro MB multiband compressor. And then I'll use the normal Fruity limiter / compressor to show you how you can do it with a stock plugin in case you don't have the FabFilter. So to set this up in FL is actually very simple. Select your kick track. This is my kick track. And then go over to your bass track or 808. And then you're going to go down here and see this triangle. You click that. Now, once you've clicked that, you would see that it's showing that we are sending a lot of signal to this track, but that's not what we want to do. We just want to use it for side chaining, right? So we're going to turn this all the way down. Load our compressor. The next thing we're going to do to make sure this actually works is go over to setting, then go over to VST wrapper settings, and then we're going to go over to processing. Right now, when we get to processing, we're going to go down to node, right click and select kick. So now that we've done that, we're going to go back to FabFilter, set our range to about, personally, I don't want to do any sort of compression beyond 6 dB. So I usually would just set my range to like 7, but you can go ahead and set your range however you want it. Fast attack, relatively fast release. And then we're going to set the ratio all the way to the max. Turn on look ahead, right? Turn that to the max, basically. Set oversampling to 4x. And then we're going to come down here to sidechain. Go over to where it says internal and external. You're going to select external. Let's play the beat and see if our sidechain compression is working. Right. You can see that we're getting about -6, -7 dB of gain reduction. You can actually set the threshold to however you want. If you reduce the threshold, you'd get more compression basically, right? But again, because I've set my range to about 7 dB, no matter how low I drop the threshold, I'm still not going to exceed the range that I've set here anyways. But I'm just going to leave the threshold here at about, I don't know, -18 dB. Now when you listen, you can hear that the kick is cutting through a little bit more in the mix. Let's listen to before and after. So before. I mean, it's a soft kick, but you can hear that the bass feels like it's overpowering the kick a little bit. If we turn on the compressor, you're going to hear that the kick sounds a lot cleaner now, because whenever the kick hits, the bass ducks a little bit. Smooth. That's just beautiful. For the next method, we're going to use the Pro MB multiband compressor. So let's do that real quick. Now, the main difference between using a multiband compressor and a compressor is that with a multiband compressor, you can target the specific frequency that you want to use the multiband compression to do. All right, let me show you how that works. Set your band range. Let's do around from 35 Hertz up to 147 Hertz. The same process, right? You want to go over to setting, go to VST wrapper setting, go to processing, go to node 1, right click and select kick. Back to the plugin, set oversampling to 4x, set look ahead to on. That's already done here. Okay, set your normal compressor settings: fast attack, fast release, ratio all the way to the max, softening, look ahead all the way to the max. Let's set the range to 6 dB again, and then now let's listen. If you notice, we're not getting any sort of sidechain compression happening yet. So we have to go to export and set the sidechain compression to external. Very important. Now let's listen. Yeah. We can make it tighter to focus the sidechain compression on that particular frequency range. But also there's another trick that the multi-band compressor has up its sleeve. You can actually go to export again and set the sidechain compression to free. And once you select that, you're going to get this bar that lets you go deeper to select the specific frequency that you really want to target. So let's use this slider to select the kick's bass frequency that we want to use to trigger the sidechain compression. You can actually come here to audition, listen to the kick, and then pick out the frequency that you want to use. So now you're just hearing just the kick, right? I think I like around here. I mean, you can hear how the kick has that punch now. Right? It's like they are married. Right? It's a perfect blend between the kick and the bass. It's just amazing. I actually prefer using the multi-band compressors to do sidechain compression, to be honest, because you can target the specific frequency that you want to affect, and it's just more precise than turning down the whole bass. This way I'm able to get the perfect pocket where the kick would sit and still get the fullness of the bass. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is before. When the bass is everywhere. And then after. It's very, very smooth. This is very useful for when you're mixing anything actually, especially trap, drill, Afrobeat with a very heavy bass. It can help your kick to retain that punch while you still have pump from your bass. It's very, very dope. So let me show you the third technique. This one is for guys that don't have external plugins and you only have stock plugins, right? You can do this very easily with Fruity's limiter, I think. Yeah, Fruity limiter. And once you pull up the Fruity limiter, you want to go over to compressor. And then you see where it says sidechain, right click and select kick. Once you've done that, all you have to do is just do the normal compressor settings, right? Ratio all the way to the max, fast attack, fast release, soft knee, and then you begin to pull down your threshold. And you can see you can hear the sidechain compression kicking in, and you can actually see it. If you look at the wave here, you can see that the bass is ducking every time the kick plays. Let's increase the release. Now it's holding the compression for so long, so the bass is really, really low. So let's turn that down. Very, very simple. So that's how you use sidechain compression to create a very perfect blend between your bass and your kick. Like I mentioned, you can also do sidechain compression for anything. So I'm going to select the vocal, go over to my reverb bus, click that. Now I'm sending. Right, so now I'm getting a lot of reverb, but I can also use the sidechain compression to actually control that reverb so that the vocal will have presence, right? And then the reverb will come after. Pull up Fruity limiter this time around, compression, and go to sidechain and right click, select the track that we want to use, which is Mariana Tretch. And then let's do the normal compression settings. So knee all the way up, ratio all the way up, fast attack, fast release, and we're just going to drop the threshold and watch the magic happen. Right, so you can see so this is before. A lot of reverb and after. I need to mention that this vocal already has like a lot of reverb on it, but with the sidechain compression, you can get even more reverb that is controlled rather than reverb that is just all over the place. So if you're doing this with a normal vocal that did not have so much reverb, especially if you're mixing like choir vocals, for example, you'll be able to have a lot of reverb, but the sidechain compression will control the reverb so that the vocals will cut through in the mix more, and then the reverb will just follow. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I do the Logic Pro version of the sidechain compression technique video, I would show that there. That's where I like to mix vocals. I don't do it here, but that's how you do it basically. So that's going to be it for this one. I hope you got something from this video. If you did, make sure you leave me a like, okay, and subscribe if you've not. And if you need to book my services for mixing and mastering in stereo and Dolby Atmos, you can use the engineer's link down in the description below. If you've not listened to the Project Atmos EP, I'm going to leave the link down there below. And if you are a music producer, artist, you want to record yourself, you have Logic, I have a link down below to a Logic Pro X recording template with a free Afrobeat preset in it, all stock plugins, okay? So that's going to be it for now. I shall see you on the next one. Benny Macaulay, out.